Welcome back to ARC Tutorials. This is CSS full tutorial series for absolute beginners. In the last two episodes, we have learned very important concepts like CSS margin and padding in CSS. Today, we are going to learn an equally important concept without learning which you cannot be able to design 100% pixel perfect designs of websites. The concept is called the box model. It's very important to have a clear understanding and mastery of this concept. Today we are going to learn and master that concept. This is part 12 of the series. If you have missed out on the first 11 parts, make sure that you go through them in order to have continuity in your learning and mastering CSS with me. Alright, so today we are talking about the box model. Alright, so whenever you hear the term box model, right, think of it that we are talking about the design and the layout and the structure. Alright, take a look at this picture again. If you see the content, it's a box, right? It can be a square, it can be a rectangle, doesn't matter, but it's a box, right? So this entire thing is a box. And each element in the page can be uniquely classified or categorized as a box, and hence in CSS we call it as the box model. Box model is essentially a box that wraps around every HTML element. Now I'm going to give you an example. Take a look at this block. This is a block, right? It's a box. Similarly, this is a box. This is a box. This is a box, right? So start thinking of websites or elements in the pages as boxes. There are four important aspects of box model. The first is the content. The content decides how much space it will take. In this case, it's only this much. In this case, the content spans longer, etc. The next is the border. That means the border that we place on the element. The next is the padding, margin and padding, which we have covered in the last two episodes if you have missed it. So margin is how much away you want from the previous element or the nearby elements. Padding is how much space you want inside from the content, right? So these are the four important concepts: content, then the border, and then the margin, and finally the padding. So margin again is how much space you want between the elements. Padding means how much space you want around the content itself. Okay, these are the four important concepts, because from here on when we start designing our web pages, they'll start looking more professional, more elegant, and none of that cannot be achieved without the understanding the concept of box model, right? So I'm going to create a simple elements for you to show you that. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a element in this, right? So again, box model is simple. I'll just create a new section and say box model example. Now see here, go back. Okay, you might not be able to see it, so I'm going to delete some of this, and because anyway we will be starting our layout work from next episode or so, for now I've deleted. So this is content. Alright, what I have right now is just a content. Now let's add box model. Now first we'll add the border. See here, this is the border. It's light, so I'm going to make it a color you can clearly see. So we have the content, and now I've added a border. So let's also add some padding. I'm saying add padding 30 pixel on all sides, left, right, top and bottom. Now I'm going to add margin. So see the gap here, space, right? So space, that is margin, inside is the padding, this is the content, and here you have the border. If you understand this concept, half of your design concepts are clear. I'm going to take an example of yahoo.com. So look at it here. This is a box, right? There is space here, that is the padding. This entire thing is one. You see that alignment of this particular left content, it's all aligned. There is space, that's the margin, right? So everything is a box. Now you should start looking at design in terms of the box. This entire thing is a box. This entire thing is a box split up into multiple smaller divs. Think of it this as a box. This entire thing is one block, right? So these are all the different, that's how you should start looking at content, that everything is a box, right? When you start looking at that, you would start then dividing the page into different elements. All right. So that's the thought I want to leave you with the box model, because from here on, when we start designing our layout, our structure of the application pages, you should have this clear understanding of concepts of content, border, margin, and padding. I hope the concepts are clear. I have covered, if you look at the index, I have covered the borders in episode number 7. Margin and padding I have covered in episode 10 and 11. So make sure that you go through them, because next onwards, whatever we do will be towards a professional looking website, for which you will need a solid understanding of box model. I hope things are clear now. If you have any doubts, write to me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you. In the next episode, we will learn about the height and width of elements. How do you set them in CSS? Thank you so much for joining in this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.